All right, YouTubers, I started this project before New Year's, and the old stuff I didn't record very well, and then I just realized maybe I should do a video of showing people how to do this. This was nasty. Had something called efflorescence on it. I have a spot in the coal room we haven't done yet that I can show you what it is. But the process for cleaning this up is easy but time consuming. I am wearing inside out clothes, try to keep myself clean. So what happens if you're in places with a basement, you can get something called efflorescence, which is where water seeps through. It doesn't leak through. This basement is dry, but water can seep through, and then it kind of bubbles the paint and stays behind it when it evaporates. So it just looks nasty. So I have some clips, but not a lot because I just started doing the project. I didn't think of doing a video, so now I'm doing a video. So what you'll need, if you're in a situation like we were in, there was a lot of lead paint, so you need a mask. We also taped off sections when we were doing it once we found out how heavy the lead was. Then it's just a matter of a lot of hard work to get that flaking paint off. I use that, just a paint scraping putty knife kind of thing, and you kind of just scrape the wall. And I used a wire brush, as you can see. A lot of the wire brush is gone. And it's a lot of work. It's not hard, it's just a lot of work, takes a lot of time. What we used, hold on, once we got the wall all prepared, we used drylok. And drylok is awesome. This is a pretty small house, and we used, this is 2 gallons. We used 4 gallons and maybe another half a gallon from the other one. So it takes a lot of this stuff. I put about 1.5 or 2 coats on it throughout. And for a 110-year-old wall, it now looks pretty good. Now, just to show you, here's 2 empty buckets of drylok, and this is about 45-50 bucks for 2 gallons. And once you get that all scraped, this takes days. At least it took days for me. Once you get that scraped, the efflorescence, even, you do the best you can to get as much of it off as you can. It's still difficult, but you do the best you can so that you'll get a good adherence of that drylok on your wall. And then even once you do that, you'll notice there's going to be some bleed through. It'll kind of look yellow behind it, which is okay. It's still going to keep any seepage from coming through. But then what I did is I just used some Kills 3 over the top of it, a coat or 2 of that, to get it whiter and stop that bleeding through of it. So like I said, I'm going to show you a little bit of efflorescence that's still left, because again, when I started this, I didn't film it well enough to show you the whole process. And I'm almost done with the project, so let's go check this out. Go. All right, so if you're seeing this kind of stuff, looks like a fungus, it looks like something growing, that's that efflorescence where the water's seeping through. This isn't too bad where it's flaking off and there's pits and stuff. But yeah, that's what it'll look like. If you're seeing this, then you just got to take that scraper, get as much of it off as you possibly can, take a brush to it, vacuum it, wash it, do all you can to get it as clean as possible so that the drylok will adhere to it. That makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's what efflorescence looks like. If you got this, it's not harmful to you, you're not going to get sick or nothing, you just want to get it off and make your walls look better. And also, I'm going to show you, I got some clips of that too. Once your wall's been damaged by the seepage and you got the efflorescence, sometimes you'll have soft spots or even holes in it. So you use a thing called hydraulic cement. You just mix it up, put it in your hand like making a meatball, and you stuff it in whatever holes you got and let it dry. That'll do a good job. So hydraulic cement, if you have holes in it, is going to help a lot. Now let's get to the clips I have and the actual painting and work I did. Parts of the work I did. Again, my last video, 2023, was showing this project about halfway, because we did the other side of the house a few months ago. And also, if you're in northern climates, you can get this worse, because if you live in a place that gets a lot of snow, you usually don't put gutters on because the heavy snow is gonna just rip your gutters off. So, and if you have houses that are close together, you're gonna end up with a lot of drainage down there. And luckily, the basement is dry, other than the seepage and the efflorescence coming through your basement wall. But for a 110 or 12-year-old house, this place is in pretty good shape. All right, let's get to the rest of the video, and hopefully it'll be helpful to you. If this is your first time here, normally this channel is about travel and van life and that kind of stuff. And if you come here often, I'll get back to that stuff. And also, when you get a few more minutes into this, I'm going to show you the before and after. Yes, this shows you that people that dedicate to having fun sometimes have to do unfun projects with painting. All right, so we mix up this drylok. And drylok is kind of thick because it's supposed to drylock. All right, I got a lot more stirring to do before I start painting. All right, there's the first coat. Looks pretty good compared to how it looked. And these spots are left because we're going to fill those with that cement stuff. And I left a little extra because just in case. She's real good at picking which needs filled in and which doesn't, so I'll let her do that. This whole section here, I'm not painting it because there's a lot of fill to do. There's a crack running down there, but we'll get it. And then this side I have yet to do. I'll show you that when that one's done with the first coat. This project is very similar to when I repainted the hood of my van. It's all about prep work. It's only going to turn out good if you put in the time and effort with prep. This is the basement project. This is the painting with drylok of this concrete wall. These spots here are a mix we patched together to kind of fill in some soft spots in this old concrete wall. We'll let them cure for, it says it only has to cure for about an hour, but I'm gonna let them cure for like a day and a half. This doesn't have too much bleed through yet. It's like, I'd call it a coat and a half, and I just painted it, and this was, again, the guy's previous stuff. I couldn't chip all that stuff out. So, yeah, I'm gonna get this all done and paint it up, and this is gonna look good. And the floor, I'm gonna have to paint the floor. But yeah, all right. Hope everybody had a good and safe New Year's Eve. Went out and didn't do anything you're gonna regret for the next 365 days. Maybe you did something you're gonna remember for the next 365 days. Maybe 365 ways. I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, we'll continue this video on, and you're gonna see this get looking even better. So see here, this post has to have been reused. It's got some tenants in it, so I don't know, maybe this was in an old barn, and some of them you can tell were like hand milled, they're rough. It's pretty cool. Looks a lot better than it was looking. All right, more painting. Again, that spot there needs some compound in it, as does that. Those drip marks, not me. I scraped as much of them off as I could, but it ain't me. So, yep. We're getting there. Again, first coat and some touch-ups. Oh, light went out. Motion sensor, I wasn't moving enough. And that section is still waiting. We got some work to do on that part, but this part looks pretty good. Coming along. This hydraulic cement really does work great on any holes you have, and if you have soft spots, you got to dig them out till where you get to firm and then put the hydraulic cement on it. It makes a huge difference in appearance, and hopefully it'll help the wall itself. All right, there you go. I think we're good. I'll give it another day to see if there's any bleed through on this wall and touch those places up. I tried to do the best I could with this stuff here. Painted it brown like that wall. Painted that strip there. And I did this wall. This is all me. She's been doing more important stuff. Says any idiot can throw paint on a wall, and those are not my strip marks, I swear. So yeah, next Again, if I touch up any spots, I won't make you have to see that. And next we're gonna work on the floor and try to make this floor look like that floor. And then move all the stuff into its forever home, or at least for a long time home. And then paint that door. I'm gonna find, she likes this color, so we're gonna have to go find that color at the store. And then there's another door, we'll paint that color. But that's it. Happy New Year! All right, that is under the sink. I painted under there, it looks pretty good. This floor's had a lot of years of people scrounging around, so scrounging. So I got this. Again with that prep work crap. If you want it to stick and look decent, you got to do the prep. So there'll be a little bit of time of getting the loose stuff off this floor. You get it. All right, and I painted out just far enough. We got the cabinets in, screwed the tops down, put a screw into this one, into that one back there. So yay. All right, I got more scraping to do. I just stuck that there, but left this spot in between for mops or brooms or whatever. Come along. When you scrape those walls, put plastic down because you're going to have a lot of mess. And like us, you might have lead, so be careful. All right, first coat. The rest of my life coming up. Looking better. Looking better. It's going to take at least 2 coats. All right, there's the second coat drying. This basement's gonna look pretty darn good. We have some more to do. Oop, don't fall down. That part of the floor is not done. But behind me, got a couple things to do, but hopefully it doesn't need a third coat. Easy projects you can do when you're not out in your van, when you're shoveling snow instead. But when you do a project like this, when it's all done, you smile and you end up having a great and wonderful day. All right, I teased you long enough. Here comes the before and then the finished whole project at the end. Turns out pretty good, I think. This basement is dry, so I want to warn you that if you have actual water, then you got to do the expensive thing of digging up the foundation on the outside and putting drain and all that expensive stuff. But luckily with this, there's no need for that. So as you can see, this wall was pretty gross when I started, and honestly, the opposite wall was even worse, but we got that looking good, and this one too, I think. All right, YouTubers, that was the before. This is the after. As you can see, it's come a long way, and it looks pretty darn good, I think. As I said through a lot of it, it's just a lot of work. It's not hard work, it's just persistent work. But I'll show you the whole thing where we got it done. So there's spots that were patched up. I'm not sure where all of them were, but it looks pretty good. Painted the door like she wanted. The floor's all done. Cabinets. Painted behind the washer and the dryer. That was fun. But it's a lot of work. But you can restore these walls with drylok, and then I've painted over the walls with Kills 3. And as you can see here, I got some spots I got to touch up where I told you that can bleed through. It's bled through the drylok and a couple spots with Kills. So I will get the Kills 3 out and hit these spots. I saw them, but I wanted to show you what the bleed through can look like. Some people wouldn't care. Me, I'm going to paint that over and we're going to get this looking good. But hopefully that shows you too can do this. You can make an 110-year-old basement and ugly looking walls look a lot better. And once you get it all done, you'll have a great and wonderful day. All right, I'll show you touching up. This is just like OCD kicking in. You've done this much work, you might as well do a little bit more, right? You want it to look as good as you can. Okay, I guess you can see that I'm taking a little bit too seriously, going a little bit too far. But you can make it look as good as it's possible to look if you just put the work in. Lots of scraping, hours. I don't know how many hours. Lots of hours. But came out looking pretty good. Pretty happy with it. think this basement, once we get everything moved back to where it's supposed to be, it's going to turn out pretty darn good and have some more usable space. But until then, till the next video, yeah, have a great and wonderful day.